Good morning, everyone, and happy Martin Luther King Day. It's Move It Monday for me, and I haven't done one for a while, so I thought I would join you here. A lot of times people ask me, what do you do when you get up? And I tell them before I even get up, I do a little stretch. Now, today I cheated because I got my tea and I actually got some clothes on, and I have my candle and I always have some incense to remind me that life is impermanent, to catch the light, to breathe in the smells, and to heal the moment of whatever is I'm going through, and heal our world. I was really quite taken back when I looked at Dr. Martin Luther King and his workout. That was made for him. I think it was his 70th birthday. And it was this like pretty intense workout with Turkish twists, etc. And I thought, man, I couldn't do that. He was actually a proponent for athletes and loved the Dodgers, loved Jackie Robinson football. And he was, as we know, quite a force to be reckoned with. So in honor of him today, we need to keep moving. And that's what he did. He voiced his opinions. He was relentless. He was passionate. He gave amazing talks. And I'm going to add something at the end of my blog post today about some of these fun facts about him that I never knew. So let's get back to morning. I start my morning with lemon water, perhaps apple cider vinegar with the mother. It sort of has really good bacteria, and a glass of water. And then I move to my cup of coffee. So I'm going to pretend I'm getting out of bed. By the way, I am with Uniquely Fit and Unique Times, in case you didn't know that. So let's pretend I'm in bed, right? And I've trained myself to sleep on my back. It's actually one of the best things you can do, because there's certain body parts of mine that get crunched like yours do. Somebody will wake up with a stiff arm, a stiff back, blah, blah. And it's a lot of times because we're moving all over the place. And if you have an injury, that's the best time you can kind of try to teach yourself those things. Or if you have animals that you sleep with and want to lay on your chest, then you can have an opportunity, or babies, to lay on your chest. So anyway, I'm going to pretend I'm getting out of bed. And it's like, who wants to get out of bed? I don't really pop out of the morning like a book, but I do get excited to get up to what I'm doing. But I'm lying here pretending it's a bed. And I'm just going to, my knees would be straight down, but this puts more emphasis on my back than I want. So I'm going to just bring my knees into my chest, and I'm going to come off of this little bolster because it's tricky. And I'm just going to bring both knees in, and I might get a crack or two. And I'm just going to circle my legs. So as you can see, I'm pushing my knees into my hands, getting a really good stretch coming up, and I'm just waking up the bodies. So just moving, stretching out my shoulders, reverse direction, and breathe with that. So inhaling, exhaling. And then I'm going to just sway side to side just a little bit. My knees don't want to come in any further than that right now, but if they did, I could bring them farther in. I'm just going to rock back and forth. And then I'm going to take one leg and slide it down. That's right. And hold it here. I'm going to look over my shoulder and get a little neck stretch. If my knees were bothering me, I take my hands under my hamstrings, under that knee, stretch it here, and then stretch it up to wherever to go. And you might use a strap, a cloth, a towel, or your hand, and just lean it into your hand. And again, you'll get a shoulder stretch. So at this point, I'll just circle my feet. I'm going to relax this other foot. I notice it's been flexing, which isn't a bad thing, but My intention is to wake my body up. Breath work is a really good way to do that. Take the other side. And then I'm just going to simply let my hand rest on my leg, let my elbow rest on the floor. On that side, it's resting. And let this leg open as I drop my hip. So I just see where it wants to go. Breathing into that, stretching out, drawing sort of like an anchor in through my hip to the ground. So I'm not lifting that hip. And then I'm going to take my leg, bend my knee, and cross it over. It may not want to do that this morning. I'm having some low back sort of tension. I'm not going to take it too far. I'm going to actually leave my hand here and just play with this area and hold, looking over that opposite shoulder. And as a matter of fact, if it's too much, bend both knees. You can also take a block, like something you might do when you're sleeping, place it under your knees, especially if you're having any hip or back issues. It takes the pressure off, and hold it right here. Excellent. I'm going to roll forward, and I'm just going to grab this foot and stretch out my quad, a really good stretch. And then I'm going to let my neck stretch, just let it loose. So it's going to want to hold on. And I'm just doing this so I can make sure I'm not lifting it. Just lifting my head will put a lot of stress on my body. So I'm stretching out that quad, that big muscle in front of your leg. And I'm just sort of really enjoying that stretch and that movement. I probably will bring that knee every day I do this and extend it up just to get a little adduction, inner thigh stretch, and just see where that wants to go. From this position, I may come up in my bed, mind you. I am still in my bed. I will bring my legs forward and take one leg forward. I'm not sure you can see that, so I'm going to angle it this way. And right now my back is really, really tight. It's not going to go any more than this, but I would welcome you to lift and come forward. I love my bolster because it really helps me to have something that I can hold on to. And just that gave me a little bit more space so I could open up. Holding it right here. I might try to reach my toes. It's early. I want to move slow. I want to let my body unwind and wake up and bring this all the way over. And I will do this on my bed too. I will just reach up. If that's not available to you, you can just kind of sit here with this and reach. That's all perfectly great. We ask our bodies for what we want. We take what we get and we listen. So one of the worst things we can do is force it to do things it doesn't want to do, because it really gets us nowhere. So we're back on our back, and I'm going to go this way so that we can take that opposite leg, bringing it in, holding it here, and extend that leg, drawing some little circles. So basically the same thing on this side. You can see my knee is not straight. I have a clip in my hair, so it's getting in my way. So I'm just going to put my arm here and hold it. Good morning, Allie. You're on TV, yes. And then you're going to. She is funny, huh? We're going to take that leg around and we're going to open up. And this side wants to go. So I know I have a restriction on the other side. And I'm working on that. So I'm not sure what it is. I know it's a lot of lifting babies. And you might have your other thing. If I needed to, I could put that block between. I would hold it here. And then I'm going to just grab this foot. Back up a little because I can't see if you see me at all. And you're holding this leg here. Just stretching it out. And good morning. Hi, Hunter. Bring your knee in. And yes. like the old Jack LaLanne movie. Remember that? And he'd have his dog there and Elaine would come in. It was something else. Just like this. So holding, good morning, buddy. And we're just been in that. Come on, all the way up. Good. And you're going to stretch it this side. And again, the block. My bolster would be awesome to have. So if you have a bolster, one of the things I'm gonna just show you that I do, I am going to see if I can get an opening in that back right now. I'm just gonna hold over. I've got a block. I might not want it, and I'm just gonna lay my head so that I can get a little stretch here, opening up my chest. The chest is really imperative for our postural muscles to keep those stretched and open. Breathing in and breathing out. One thing I want to say about breath is there are a lot of breath, lots of different ways to breathe. And I sort of think they're all amazing. Practice, play, do whatever. But the 4-count breath of breathing in for 4 counts, do it with me. Hold your breath for 4 counts. Exhale for 4 counts is really quite powerful. So you can continue that. And as you count, it gives your brain a job to do. So I'm just going to release and hold here. This is an inversion pose. It really helps to bring the blood flow into the brain, get our brain cells working right away in the morning. And then I'm going to come up and I'm going to slide my bum all the way onto this block. And I'm going to raise both legs up for this bolster, I mean, and just hold it here. I may rock. I may begin to raise all the way up onto my shoulders for a shoulder stand. And I'm not going to do that today because I can tell it's not going to be a good idea. I roll over onto my all fours and I do cat-cow, which is traditionally great for the back. It isn't always if you're having some disc issues. I release. And I come back with an inhale breath and a little sway. Inhale, exhale, and draw your navel to your spine for that cat. Eat a cat, right, Ollie? Inhale. And I'm going to hold right here. Coming up onto my toes for screaming cat pose. Ollie. Ollie. Come on. Yeah. So sorry. Yes, she is all cat. She wants you to know that this is about her. So one more thing I've been doing lately, because my body has been more limited, is I'm going to use my block to get me into a position. You don't have to come all the way up into a downward facing dog like I'm going to do, but it is a great stretch. And I hang out here. And I'm going to just see, can I come to the ground or not today? And yes, I can. My head is relaxed. I'm going to walk my hands or my feet to my hands, and I'm going to hang. Knees are going to be bent for me today. And I'm going to take my hands to my knees, and I'm just going to hang out right here, separating out my toes, and now really draw my navel in and 1 vertebrae up at a time. I would continue right now with a few yoga. I'm going to just do some circles and then back and forth. I would continue with my qigong and my some of my yoga stretches, some balancing as well. So I would encourage you to see then what your body wants to do. I then come in here, do that same routine, and that's when I add my qigong
or the other things I do. So I hope that's helpful, and happy Martin Luther King Day. Do something in your day, in your world that makes a difference. Thanks for being here. Bye-bye.